What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, I am Vatsal and I'm an artist, songwriter and music producer. In this video, I'll show you how you can mix your background harmonies and make them sit really nicely with the rest of your tracks. So without wasting any second, let's dive right into it. So these are some harmonies from my track called So You. Dropped it last month, do check it out, and this is how the harmonies sound.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
So first thing I always say when you're working with vocals, before mixing it, track them nicely, record them nicely, because no amount of mixing can save your bad sounding recordings. Always remember this. Now this is how these harmonies sound with the rest of the track.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
See, harmonies are well balanced. They're not fighting for space. They are right where they belong, in the background, supporting the lead vocals, not fighting with them or not trying to come up in the mix. So to mix these background harmonies, I'm using my 9000J console. I am adding 5 dB of 8K, 5 dBs of 4.4K. I'm taking away 1 dBs of 1.6K. This is really important because in the lead vocals, I'm adding this frequency to make them pop out of the mix a little bit. But right now with harmonies, with my backgrounds, I'm not doing that. I'm taking away those frequencies to sort of create that phase cancelling effect so that the harmonies are automatically in the background. They're not taking that space and my leads are taking that space in the mix. So next up, I'm using my RVox on my background harmonies right here. And I'm compressing a little bit with this one to make them glue together with each other. Let's listen to the background harmonies with RVox and without RVox. First without it.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
So right here, as I'm adding the compression to my background harmonies, they are gluing with each other and coming up as one. And that's our goal with background harmonies. So the next plugin I'm using is an EQ. This is a free EQ plugin I use on all of my sessions, Nova. I'm cutting the low end around 200 Hertz and I'm cutting the high end with low pass filter around 10,000 kilohertz. Then I'm cutting these unwanted frequencies at 430 Hertz and 1300 Hertz. Now let's listen to the harmonies with this on and off. First off.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
So right here you can see that by cutting all of these unwanted frequencies, I am clearing the space for other instruments as well as my harmonies. After this is one of my go-tos when it comes to backgrounds. This is Greg Wells' VoiceCentric. So this is a plugin I use all the time for my backgrounds and my background harmonies. I started using it back when I started making music and mixing vocals because I had no idea what a compressor does or an EQ does. So this was my knight in shining armor at that time. Right here with this plugin, what I'm doing is I'm adding this intensity knob around 71% and just reverb with this plugin. And this one is a really beautiful sounding reverb. Let's listen to it once.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
So I'm hitting around 4 dBs of gain reduction with this plugin also. Basically, I'm adding more compression. But with that compression, I'm also adding some saturation, which this plugin adds to the signal, and that's really beautiful. I'm adding limiting to my background harmonies and making them sound really nice, even present, and they sit really well in the mix. And now after all of this, I'm using this reverb. And this reverb is equally important. Why? Because it's pushing the background harmonies in the background just a little bit. And when it comes to mixing, these just a little bit things make all the difference. So let's listen to the background harmonies with this plugin chain on and with it off.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true. And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
Alright, so this is how my harmonies sound. Let's listen to the harmonies with all of the instruments and all of the tracks.
And I've been waiting for so long to tell you how I feel. Times when you were showing me the real you. Now this thing is hanging on some broken promises we made to each other when we were true.
So this is how I mix my harmonies. 4 plugins, and that's it. Now let's recap what we have done so far to achieve this sound. First, I'm taking away the mid-range from the background harmonies right here. And these are the same frequencies I'm adding in my leads. Then I'm compressing it like 4 to 5 dBs with a compressor. Then with the help of an EQ, I'm cutting excessive low end, excessive high end, and some unwanted frequencies. After this, I'm using this. This is VoiceCentric. Basically what it's doing is it's adding compression, saturation, and then I'm using the reverb to push the harmonies in the background. You can achieve similar kind of result with another compression plugin, saturation plugin, and a reverb. So this was the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. Do check out my music, my digital guides, vocal presets, and much more. Link is in the description. Also comment your process of mixing vocal harmonies in the comment section down below. Subscribe to my channel for more content like this, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
So you